Lorraine 40T.
Lorraine 40T.
Oh. Hello, welcome to another long-awaited video, and this time it's about the Lorraine 40T. Now this tank is an amazing tank to play once you get used to it. It's kind of one of those tanks where you play it when you're still an inexperienced player and you don't really like it because you didn't play it right. And at the time I didn't know enough to know that I was playing it wrong, and now I do, and I decided to take it out recently, and it was a blast to play. Just everything about it suits my playstyle. If you don't know what my playstyle is, it's a support player. I support my fellow teammates from behind the lines, and I just lay down some serious damage on the enemy tanks that try to push my teammates out of either panic or just outright aggressiveness. And yeah, this tank is a special place in my heart because I really do respect players who are able to use this tank to the full potential. And yeah, so anyone who can play this tank really well, so say a good 2,000 3,000 damage easily per game, then I respect you. No matter who you are, whether or not I like you, you will be respected by me. And I don't even know if that's a fucking boasting point, but I'm getting off topic. Moving on. This tank sports really good mobility, and you can see this in my gameplay where I am able to take early positions and get good shots on that Panther, for example. But then you really have to watch out because in Sacrifice you don't have any armor, and it's really bad compared to any other medium in that tier, which have a similar layout, so an autoloader. So compared to other autoloaders at tier 8, which are medium tanks, this tank is very lightly armored. And that's something you really need to be careful of, because you will get clapped. As you can see, I did get clapped for over 800 damage. It was not fun at all, and because of that I died to the AMX 50-100 that came around, noticing that he could clip me out. And yeah, let's talk about the gun. The gun is really, really nice. And okay, so first, it has around 1900 DPM. That is pretty good, but it's not as good as its counterparts, such as the Defender Mark 1 or the T69, or say the P44 Pantera. However, the penetration it excels in penetration compared to these other tanks, except for the Mark 1, which has 226, which is very, very high for a medium tank. But the Lorraine 40T has 212. That is really good. You can penetrate heavy tanks pretty easily, and that's just the AP shell. You can use the APCR, which has even higher penetration. The Alpha, it's your standard 90mm gun. It does around 225 average, which is generally what you see on 90mm guns at this tier. It's your just average gun Alpha as a medium tank. Your reload for a clip is around 20 seconds. It's very long, but the clip is very nice. 4 shells, autoloading 200 per shot, average would be around 800, and you can use that to your advantage. In one of the replays here, I noticed that a Panther is alone, 580 or something HP, just sitting in the corner after he killed a teammate of mine. I just finish him off, I just clip him, and it's satisfying. It's very rewarding. Any tank that has below 750 hit points is a guaranteed kill for you, unless you are extremely unlucky or you have to use APCR. I digress. It is a very nice clipper. You can, when you take this out into platoons, for example, you can really dish out some good damage onto enemy tanks. So you can either do a split 800 to 2 different tanks, or you can focus that. You can do 1600. That's one tank. You can literally finish off one tank with just 2 of these, and in mere seconds, because it's only 2 to 3 seconds interclip reload, so they wouldn't really have a chance to react to this kind of gameplay. But then, you know, to achieve that, it takes quite a bit of synergy, coordination, but, you know, if you manage to pull this off, it is very satisfying. It earns credits quite well, mainly because it's a premium tank. However, I do not recommend this to any beginners, because, well, it's a hard tank to play. It requires a lot of patience. And well, on the other hand, I recommend this tank to people who like supporting. You can support heavies. Your gun is good enough. You have high enough penetration. You are high enough mobility to be able to relocate in case another person needs help. So it's recommended for people who like that playstyle. So if you don't like that playstyle, then just don't get this tank. It's just not for you. Anyway, generally compared to its counterparts, such as the AMX CDC, which has generally the same mobility, a little bit less armor, and an equally effective gun. P44 Pantera, auto reloader. It has a little bit more effective armor, but it's not to the degree that it will do much. Defender Mark 1, which is also 4-shot autoloader, and a T69, which is the American 3-shot autoloader with a 90mm. All these, compared to the Lorraine, they all have better DPM. I mean, that's expected, kind of. And the Lorraine kind of sits up there in the penetration value. However, it really does excel in the mobility part. Well, of course, at the sacrifice of armor. And you can just totally use that to your advantage against these tanks, especially tanks like the T69. The T69 is sluggish. You can easily run circles around it. I don't really recommend playing aggressive, mainly because you don't have armor, and in one of the replays I do get clapped by a WZ tier 8 premium tanker in the Chinese tree. Yeah, and it wasn't fun, so make sure you be careful of that. Consumables wise, you can choose, but what's it called? The equipment is important. Make sure you get the ones that enhance your gun characteristics, because you constantly need every shot counts. So get the supercharger, get the aiming time, get the refined gun. You can, of course, go for calibrated shells, but I go for the ventilation, because generally better reload times is kind of better in case you're in a pinch. And mobility wise, you take the engine accelerator, of course. You get improved assembly for more HP. You always want that HP pool. It doesn't make sense to get more armor because it's just non-existent. There's no point in getting it. In terms of consumables, well, it's entirely your choice. I would take an automatic fire extinguisher because I find that if you do not pay attention, and especially to those who just bought the tank, then they'll get set fire quite often if they show their ass to any other tank that and they use HE. Um, they'll get set on fire. So take a fire extinguisher of some sort. Get the multi repair kit, just a standard repair kit. I don't take the instead of the automatic fire extinguisher, I do take the engine boost, which really does help in taking early positions. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I know that I do not upload for a while, but I hope it manages. I hope I satiated your thirst for my video, and good night.